This is not right. It ain't right! Sato takes a lot of damage there. He has to fortify quickly, but it's a little too slow. Or without Sato, there ain't no fusion. Not on the point, anyway.
This point's basically been one fight. You had the Widowmaker shot at the beginning.
Oh, it's over. EQO's down. There might be some stall here, but Sato supercharged close to his own spawn, and that Coalescence has no recipient or no intended target. The Shanghai Dragons showing us the Widowmaker, the Doomfist. Much more than Orisa has on her barrier. Look at already, the Dragons have moved to the point here. Oh, Poco tries to keep Sato alive here, but with no help for Sato, Philly may as well just pack it up.
But this is why you see heroes like Doomfist now, and why we're talking about Symmetra is Doomfist, he doesn't care about the barriers as he can go right on through.
Right, Youngjin's so cracked, he's out there punching rocks. There we go, point A taken by the Dragons. There wasn't much fanfare at all there. Walk straight on in. Youngjin, I mean, he is that player who... But this one could hurt. Bit of damage there, and Poco just blows up. DM finishes that kill. Youngjin just trying to keep himself mobile as possible here. Matt, I don't think Philly are ready for what the Dragons are bringing.
And when do you switch off of this for Philly? Like, Carpe will pick up Izzyaki on the backside, but the cart's still moving through. Neptuno trying to go back and get a touch, but...
yes.
I mean, yeah, sure, this happened.
On the other side of the map, he was just able to get behind his Orisa barrier, but 3 turrets on the ground just took him out. And there it is, Flux thrown out, this time from the Dragons fusion, all thrown up. Youngjin now gets to stretch his legs a little more, and looks like that fusion hold has been broken.
This is Symmetra turrets here from DM, thrown on his side of the shield. It actually slows Carpe down for a second going on through, and they're able to pick the kill up. As this be a blizzard from EQO, maybe they can turn this.
Gets DM as well. Carpe comes in and finds Coma, but oh, you see, they didn't step on the payload, fam.
To get it done. Like, you know, Poco, a very good off tank. Like, you have the pieces where you think you play the 50-50 game, you're able to win it. Just hasn't rolled out in their favor.
But I think it's got a lot, well, we'll get back to it in a second now. It's really pushing over this point pretty comfortably there. It starts with that particular high ground by Carpe, and looks very, very good once they get a pincer move on that point A going. But really hope damage, man. That was something you mentioned that was sort of lacking beforehand. EQO gets rid of a turret and then straight over towards Gamsu. They lost DM as well. The Dragons are in trouble in this fight, and the Fusion have a lot more time in the bank. A Blizzard close to spawn might be the answer here. Look at the barrier thrown up. There's an ice wall. So many ways of preventing damage. Envy going to use the kinetic grass to get over on towards the point, but that is it. Philly, more than double. The side, quickly taken out. He wasn't ready for that. Now the rest of the Fusion are going to push forward. It's an opening, and Izzyaki can't get away. Coalescence finishes the job. EQO now turns back to deal with the rest of the Dragons in his backline, but he has very little to worry about. Supercharger thrown down by Gamsu, but it's just a final gambit. And yeah, DM and Envy will sit back there now, try and shield themselves up, and the Valkyrie healing won't get the job done. DM attempted a Deadeye, but that is where the cart stops. And boom for the Coalescence over on the point now, and that payload is about to get moving once more. It's actually Coma. Kipian stalled out here. Young's going to drop in. He gets the nano boost. He's so deadly in this small space. A 1-for-1 trade though. Sato does go down, but DM's missing. Young's trying to complete the kill on Carpe, and he gets the job done. The rest of the Philly Fusion now congregate, but EQO and Poco eat a massive biotic grenade. Poco's forces to sit behind his shield, and it looks like it's going to be Struggle City for the Fusion. Sato drops down now. Pile Driver put to sleep and to bed. That'll do it. The Dragons move ahead 2 and tries to get away. There's the Blizzard throw down to the point now. Chroma manages to get out of it here. EQO just bathing in it. Izzyaki airborne. Poco trying to get that finish on him, and he does. Drops him down. Accretion on Coma. Poco gets the finish. This is looking good for Philly now. Poco with another one in this fight. And they're set up on the point. The Dragons are nowhere to be seen. This has always been a horrible map for them. This one looking no better. 2 minutes and 10 seconds there, Matt. That's what Philly have to win. At the end of the day, your ability to win a map definitely comes down to team fights and getting those important targets picked off. Well, this was never going to end well, was it? Carpe pays him a visit, and it's 4. A fall by his hand. Place it 1 centimeter. Perfect, in fact. A lot of damage, not only on the Poker, but also onto Sato. Carpe knows that his days are numbered, tries to duck around the corner, but Izzyaki chased him down with a biotic grenade. Youngjin will be the doorman for the right side of the point. There probably won't be one needed in the end. Oh, okay, EQO. 1 clip on DM. He tries to go for their Deadeye. Here come the reinforcements now. DM is brought back to life, but Boombox is here on the Moira. EQO stunned up briefly, but is able to get away. It was a biotic orb to keep the Tracer up. EQO just trying to dodge around these pillars for the time being. Sato is down. Envy is ready for a big gravitic flux if it's going to be required, but he just throws the rock in, and that is enough to get the job done.
About a minute
staying charged up now. There are plenty of barriers for him to keep that beam on. Carpe tries to step up. He gets hosed out by DM.
Oh my.
Oh, this is all sorts of wrong. DM finally pulled in the hold, gets him now. Gravitic Flux to knock him into the air, but he sees Neptuno. He's so low. Poco saves the day, doubles down now. And the punch in from EQO gets rid of Youngjin. That could have gone either way, Matt. You know what I mean. Gamsu steps up. He is removed. The Dragons, no ticks on point B. Coming with a Meteor Strike, doesn't find anything. It was a nice block forced out of EQO, and now he's trying to chase the May down. Carpe in the backside. Dead Blossom only gets one. The wall thrown up there. Was that enough to protect the rest of Envy's team? Getting rid of Sato was pretty big here, and the Shanghai Dragons look like they're going to be able to hold. Poco steps up here with the Accretion Boulder immediately, and that will be the draw. And Philly, frustrating for them now. Look at this. I mean, he can safely flank now. He's got his own shield. He's quite self-sufficient, especially with Kinetic Grasp, but the Dragons don't know how to respond to this. Another great flank play from Philly, as we saw in the previous map, yields similar results.
It was on Anubis. Right here on the first point, it's really been Poco's Sigma play.
Enough health from damage done to get rid of DM. That flashbang was very nearly ending him though. Poco jumps back. Youngjin gets hit with everything. Gamsu's Fortify isn't enough to keep him up. The fusion will continue to march on.
And it looks like
Who's in on Youngjin? All rise for the honorable Poco. They knock up Youngjin. Nana boosted there. He does drop down. He's still alive. And there's a blizzard on the payload. Youngjin has to go up and contest it. Because no one else really can. DM steps up. Dead Blossom here now from Carpe, getting the cleanup done. Meteor Strike in does get rid of Carpe, but Youngjin can't do it on his own. No way. Philly, a minute and 48 left in the clock. Again, a goal in Carpe. Can he get out? No. Envy catches him. That's going to be a sound barrier here for Philly. You'll notice there that the Orisa didn't get pulled up because of the Fortify. And Boombox is going to sit in the background now. Go for the Coalescence. Youngjin and Envy get two. Philly need to be careful. There's a Supercharger in play. Boombox is hit by Youngjin. Supercharger taken down. Poco's in trouble as well. And you've got to be kidding me, man.
Sato's got his hands on his head just now.
A Blizzard right in front of Spawn. Yeah, Philly are serious about keeping alive in this series. This looks good. Gravitic Flux now. Is he being healed up? And then is removed by EQO there. Finally taken down. Coma trying to back away into Spawn. It'll get frozen as well. That is definitely what we call a forward hold. Supercharger and DM, only players that are already there. I mean, no one else from the Dragons now to contest. That's one of the closest holds we've seen.
They have to. I mean, they have to get in this. Youngjin's going to come back here on Doomfist. That'll be a blizzard on the cart to try and push him back.
Yeah, a lot of people frozen, and then they'll get thrown up there. Poco gets Izzyaki. Gamsu again prevents himself from being sent airborne. Trying to stay alive from above. Poco's trying to throw rocks at him. Youngjin appears on the point now. It's actually just Youngjin. That'll be it. And that will be the map. Philly get a win! And look how hard they had threat of a Pharah right now. Coalescence, you cannot hide behind shields against that. Izzyaki picks Neptuno clean out of the lineup, and Ding comes in on the Doomfist. Youngjin who? Perhaps they don't need him. Gamsu gonna clean up now, and Envy gets the finish, and the Dragons sneak back in. It looked like they'd struggle. It looked like Poco had ended their chances with a freakish advantage to Shanghai. Coalescence, self-destruct, it's all there. Poco hacked in mid-air now to get desuited and Ding. He might be able to end this now with one fell swoop. Comes on in, here's the barrage, and there goes Poco. And that should be enough. Only a couple players left for Philly, and it will be.
The nano boost Youngjin potentially, that'll be a blizzard.
Holds as well. Yeah, can't quite make it out here. And Izzyaki frozen solid. Youngjin trying to get towards his team, not getting close enough though. Neptuno keeps away, great work from Philly. I mean, the whole Blizzard combo, Matt, the tried and true, always looks good.
Yeah, Youngjin gets a nano boost and gets two, but it's not good enough. Boombox, the Coalescence here towards the end, help finish some players off.
DM sitting back behind the wall. Icicle's coming in, Coalescence watching him off the map. And now Carpe can just push him to Spawn. Boombox, two of the Coalescence, and with 90 seconds on the clock, Philly are ready for their final push.
Blizzard available for EQO here very shortly as well.
They're gonna get
get a touch.
The wall's so big!
Oh, it's nice. That'll be the map completed.
Came out first for Neptuno, and he wasn't caught in the flux, so he wasn't thrown up into the air. 17 seconds remaining here, but the Dragons aren't making any progress. Izzyarki's brought back to life. Gamsu barely alive, and say the same for Carpe. He needs to find some easy damage, hence easy health. I don't think Youngjin really fits the bill for that, though. He is mad. EQO's having to get rid of him. Carpe doesn't realize there's a McCree above, and the fusion crumble at the last second. Envy tries to lay it up. Even with Fortify, you still see starting to get knocked into the air, but the sound barrier there is going to seal the deal. Philly able to stave off the Dragons' best efforts at trying to finish the series. They will not go quietly into the night. The way that Coma did just then anyway. Carpe walks headfirst into an accretion, and that's called Headstrong. Philly, stay alive in the series.
Yes, it's a
Thing paved the way for him. He was just there to finish the dirty work. Neptuno has to quickly use Guardian Angel to get out of Youngtin's warpath. That is a nice gravitic flux. 2 caught up, and that one at Poco is dropped on his rear end.
They've had a difficult time keeping Boombox alive. Whether when the Doomfist comes into the backline on him, is falls there, and
that just play is falling like flies to Philadelphia.
You have Supercharger. I think Sato's just trying to determine when he wants to use it. May not get a chance now as Ding comes in with the Nano Barrage after connecting with 2 rockets. Won't have a use of some of those ultimates, as that'll be Shanghai completing the map.
So, yeah, I mean, Gums has to be a little bit careful now. Gravitic Flux, great way to peel for your main tank.
No support.
Cobra and Izayaki go down. And it wasn't even a Gravitic Flux, by the way, from Poco. That was from Envy. Carpe just slangs the Peacemaker in their general direction. And Sato pulls Ding out the sky, King Kong style.
And what does Ding switch to? If you want to take Ding off of this far over here, we're feeling better time than the Dragons.
Gamsu pressured down. Sato trying to get into the cookie jar, but it's EQO that smashes it. Gamsu removed now by the barrage. Ding has to go for one of his own, but it's a little bit too far away. Can't even quite get Neptuno. Attempted resurrect there from Coma is foiled. And now Sato's going to get kept alive. The instant pick for the fusion comes out of the hat. I mean, they'll probably expect you to pretty hard to get line of sight on him. Really have to push. They have to commit on this backside now because the cart's got too far. Coma's down. Big first pick. And that'll be enough. Neptuno goes in, finds Ding, realizes that there's no pocket left for the Farah. In the meantime, though, Gamsu has been shunting this payload. Honest work for the Orisa. But that's as far as the Dragons will get. They can't really follow up on that, but getting the Orisa onto the low ground now really means they can set up. What a flank, though! Envy gets to the backside and finds Carpe and Ding. Again, it's a Nano Rockets. Just when you need him to come forward, he is there. And now he's looking to get the finish on the fusion. Poco down, Youngtin going in for the finish off now. Neptuno forced the Valkyrie, but there's nobody left to bring back, and the Dragons take flight into the second half of the...